Are we live?
Your mic is on.
Number 4, Logan Gallant. Batting 7, playing right field, number 44, Simon Duel. Batting 8, the left fielder, number 9, Johnny Arsenault. And batting 9, playing second base, number 11, Dylan Worth. Tonight's starting pitcher for the Islanders, number 7, Jordan Stevenson. And for your Moncton Mets, leading off the shortstop, number 7, Justin Cormier. Batting second, the left fielder, number 30, Sam Lund. Batting third, playing first base, number 16, Serge Lotor. Batting fourth, playing right field, number 45, Luke Lotor. Batting fifth and catching, number 21, Jake Green. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 17, Colin Bess. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 11, Jesse Malone. Batting eighth, playing third base, number 4, Alex Parley. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 12, Stephen Martin. And tonight's starting pitcher for the Mets, number 23, Nathan Van Button. Tonight's umpires at first base, J.P. Richard. At third base, Emmanuel Crevier. And behind the plate, celebrating his 70th birthday, Frank Holt. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please rise and remove your hats for our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us some land. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
We'd like to thank Steffi Van Clinton for our national anthem this evening.
And welcome in to the Moncton Mets season opener, proudly being streamed here on MST. They're taking on the defending champs, the PI Islanders, here from downtown Moncton at Kiwanis Park. The newly acquired and signed Nathan Van Putten will see the mound here for the Fisher Cats. or the Mets rather, here as they take the field. And what is in hopes to be a thrilling game one. And catching Van Putten today is number 21, Jake Green, taking some warm-up tosses there. Overall, getting 27 games in last season's and now coming here to lead off for the Islanders is number 29, Jack Kraft. And here we go. The first pitch of the season starts off with the ball down low and to the right. And there's one that's going to end up being a strike. And the third pitch, now he's in the head of the count, 2-1 on getting Kraft caught looking twice. So far in 2 games, has a hit and one on them versus the doubleheader against Chatham. And here we go. Did he go? He did not. And the 2-2 count. Now gonna give him a full count here at 3-2. And the put away is sent wide, and he will take, and Kraft will start his day off with a leadoff walk. And another good strike here to Ryan McIsaac, batting second in this lineup. He has a runner waiting on first. And just short of the pick-off attempt. And so far, McIsaac off to a pretty good start in his first 2 games here with the Islanders, with 1 hit in his 2 full at-bats. Another try here at 1-0, and another pickoff right to first base. That one won't get him. And a base hit that'll be slapped right through the first and second baseman. And the Islanders will now have runners on first and second to start off this game. A three-hole hitter, catcher Duncan Pickett steps up with a chance to get some RBIs up on the board. Has two of them on base in front of him. There's a swing and a miss that hits off of Green.
Just bear down to his truck, bear.
And again, the 0-1 to Pickett's. That one will be a good bit left outside. And the 1-1 is also outside. We're going to have a meeting at the mound. And Duncan Pickett so far, he's also got a pair of hits during the doubleheader against the Ironmen that had just passed this past Sunday. The Islanders took two separate 5-4 victories and a step off the mound here from Van Putten. Another try, another one just missing left there. Another try, that one's fouled back behind the backstop. And a full count, no outs. Runners on first and second. Pitch sent high in the air. I'm going way back. That hits right behind the booth. Pickett so far with 6 at-bats has 2 singles to his name. Hasn't driven in anyone so far. Looks to change it. This one's high. May stay in the park. Looks like it will. Vautour comes on from first base to make the catch.
Designated hitter number 20, Josh Myers.
Now Josh Myers stepping up in the 4-hole. That one's just going to be outside, and he didn't go. Looking at Josh Myers' start. So far, hasn't found too much success. Looks to turn it around here. 1-0 count. Starting off in his favor. This one, another one, displaying a good eye. And here's Van Putten's stats from the last year of 2024. He had led the league in strikeouts overall with 86 of them throughout the regular season and playoffs, playing with the Fredericton Royals. And here he is, signed with the Mets. That one's going to be right down the middle. And that'll get them battling back to a 2-1 count. And another one that's just barely outside the zone. And here we are checking in with McIsaac, who right now stands on first, watched by Mr. Serge Vautour. And another one, this one's popped up, going way back to center, and this one is going to be tracked down by Colin Betts.
Well, they want to see Louis about it then. Louis, can you come down for a minute? They want to talk to you about it. Can you come down?
That's an F8 for Josh Myers as he sent one way out to center. And Betts is there, tracking it down. And makes it look easy now for Nick McPhail, who steps up to bat in the 5th spot for the Islanders. And first pitch swinging again. This one's high. Gonna go deep right back to Betts, and he's gonna fall back. And that one will end the inning off of 3 straight outs. A pop up to third. And 2 flyouts over to Colin Betts in center field. They're gonna leave 2 on. And now the Fisher Cats, or the Mets, excuse me, will come back up to bat. And leading off in the bottom of the 1st for the Moncton Mets will be Justin Cormier, who had been very successful in season prior. And here's Stevenson in 2 innings, giving up 2 earned runs. And he looks to change that around here with starting out with a strike. So already starting up in the count, 1-0 to Cormier. Make that 2-0, and 2 of them that Cormier will watch go right by him. Another try, this one not as successful. As Cormier, the shortstop and pitcher, starting off and looking to continue off last year, batting .340. That one's going to be outside. Does not look like he went. So 2-2 the count. Bottom of the first, no outs. Here on MST, currently 85 watching along on this very cold and chilly Wednesday night. As the Mets open off their season at Kiwanis Park, and that one had looked to have been real close. Umpire Craig Hope almost ringing him up. Now another full count to Cormier, the left-handed batter. Going to put one right up the middle. This one's going to get to the second baseman. And unable to make a play, Cormier will reach first on what should be called as an infield single. And just a little bobble is enough.
Number 30, Sam Lund.
And now Sam Lund stepping into the box, taking multiple awards in this last year. And first pitch going to be called a ball as Lund now gets his first at-bat of the year. Up 1-0 in the count. That one a decent bit outside. We'll take a quick look. There's Cormier occupying first base. And another one now. It's a 3-0 count. And watch out for Cormier. He's got a bit of speed with him. Look out for him to be stealing. And there's going to be our first strike of the count, making it 3-1. Sam Lund still in favor of the count in this one. And that will be ball 4. So Sam Lund gonna step his way over to first base. And now bases 1 and 2 occupied for the Mets.
First baseman, number 16, Serge Votor.
Now as Serge Votor comes up to the plate, and he's got some power behind him. 10 home runs total last year, and 6 of them coming in the playoffs. So there it is, a .380 batting average. Dangerous at the plate, and that swing trying to go yard and just comes up short. On the 1-1, this one's hit high, deep, going to the wall, and goodbye. And Votor in his first at bat of the year, he goes over the fence, a 3-run dinger. As he trots to home plate, he is 1 for 1 this year with home runs, so make it 3 to zip Mets early in this one as it goes over the wall. Right fielder Dubois unable to do anything on that one. So 3-0 Mets. That's a Serge Votor 3-run shot. Now Luke Votor stepping in the 4 spot. going to step out of the box. So an 0-2 count as the sun finally gets out here in Kiwanis Park. That one just outside. On the 1-2, and Luke Votor is rung up. The first strikeout for Stevenson. And that one way outside here for Jake Green's first at bat in the game, being catcher to Nathan Van Putten of the Mets on the mound. Stevenson here for the Islanders delivers that one outside left. So Jake Green last year playing a lot of catcher. That one's going to go upstairs for ball 3. Yes, for ball 3, rather. Hitting 2 home runs in the year prior. And that one's just going to be inside. Now making it a 3-1, still favorable count. And the pitch, that one right down the middle now. Stevenson has crawled his way back into the count. Now a full count here for Jake Green. Gonna swing and foul, and that one's gonna go into the stands. Knocks off a railing. Jake Green still 3-2 after one foul. Sends it right down the first baseline. It's going to take an awkward hop, and he's going to roll in swiftly into first base right off the bag. As Jake Green now slides into first. And what an at-bat with a full count. An unfortunate hop off the bag. And McPhail unable to make a play on that one. Quick ball to start off the count for Betts. Making not one, but 2 catches out in center field to start off this game. This one, however, will end up right down the middle. Another strike now. Stevenson ahead of the count as we look at Colin Betts from last year. Still with good looking numbers as a ball goes flying upstairs to the left corner. So 2-2. Green still stands at first. And a little tapper. This one going to go to second. Attempt for the double play. And they're not going to get him. So Colin Betts will reach first.
The designated hitter, number 11, Jesse Malone.
And now Jesse Malone will step in to the batter's box with 2 outs and Betts on first. That one's going to start off with a ball. So Malone DHing tonight. And a small sample size from last year. Looks to improve on it this year as he looks at a strike. And this pitch up inside to Malone up ahead of the count, 2-1. As Betts still stands at first, being watched by McPhail. Another pitch, and that's going to be a strike down the middle. Now going to line him up for a 2-2 count. This one smacked into the outfield, and this one might be extra bases, and it will be. Running home is Betts. Moving his way in, he'll be safe by a mile, and Malone has got an RBI double. Now a 4-0 game in favor of the Mets. This one pushed just over the shortstop, McIsaac, and nothing he'll be able to do about that. Now 4-0 in favor of the Mets, as they're now going to be a meeting on the mound. Now for rookie Alex Parley, about to step in to the batter's box for the Mets. A rookie this year had played with the Mudcats last year and had impressed. There he is digging in, a right-handed batter, surprisingly not all too common on this Mets squad. So this is his first at-bat in the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League. As he'll watch a strike go down the middle for his first pitch. Another one, and a good little changeup by Stevenson. So Jesse Malone standing at second off his RBI double that gave the Mets a 4-0 lead in this first inning. That one's going to be outside into the left batter's box. Stevenson again delivering this one right back towards the previous pitch. So a 2-2 count, 2 outs, runner on second, and a 4-0 Moncton Mets game early in the bottom of the first. And this one's fouled out. This one's going to go into the parking lot. Another one, and it's a swing and a miss, and that'll end off the inning. So another strikeout for Stevenson. He gets 2 Mets down via the punch out, and that ends our first inning. Going to be a score, Mets 4, Islanders still no score. A 3-run bomb from Serge Vautour and an RBI double from Jesse Malone has the Mets up by 4 in this first inning.
The Moncton Sports Dome, the City of Moncton, J.D. Irving Limited, Planet Fitness, Igloo Beverage Room, Baker Tilly, Works Experience Moncton, and South Hampton Solutions.
Now digging in for the Islanders is Logan Gallant, starting off his season hot, already with an RBI, and that one's just going to go foul. Van Putten off for his second inning as a Met. Pitch will just be outside. That one a nice curveball, but it's just outside. Logan Gallant playing third base. This game has a hit and an RBI so far in the doubleheader versus Chatham just earlier this past weekend. That one again, another foul that'll go up into the parking lot. Now 2-2, a pitcher's count. Van Putten the windup, the delivery, and almost got him. Now we're gonna head to a full count. Here at 3-2. And that one's going to be ball 4, as Gallant will take his time going to first. And the second walk given up by Van Putten so far this game. Now Dubois stepping in. First one, he's looking to bunt. That one's going to be right in the center. So Simon Dubois, again, he has an RBI so far this game. Has gone a hit statistically 50% of his at-bat. So runner on first. That one's Gallant off the walk. And Dubois, that one inching near to hitting him. Van Putten on the one-on-one pickoff attempt. And Gallant gets back just in time. Again, another try. This time going to the plate. And that one just high. Now going 2-1. This one grounded just foul right next to third baseman Parley. So the 2-2, Van Putten gonna have a look on the first base. And that one Dubois thought about going. It will now be a full count with Simon Dubois up at the plate so far. 2 hits and 2 singles. And the pitch, and that one is ball 4, as it's another walk surrendered, as Dubois will make his way over to first. So runners on first and second, no outs. And now Johnny Arsenault heading up. Runners on first and second, 2 walks given up by Van Putten. And the first 2 batters Also had one walk to the leadoff hitter, Jake Kraft, out in the first. Now the right-hander, Arsenault stepping in. And that one gonna start him off with a strike. Now 2-0. Arsenault watching two go right down the middle. And that one's going to be fouled up back. Make a loud crash, but it's still going to be 0-2. Here to Arsenault in the top of the second, where no men are out so far. And the delivery from Van Putten. That one just wide of the strike zone, bringing up the first ball on the count. Here we go, another try. That one just outside on a little slider. So Islanders really trying to get back into this one after allowing 4 in the first to the Mets. That one looked to have been good, but it's just outside, bringing up another full count. And another try for Van Putten, trying to not to walk 3 in a row, and he's rung up, and that's going to be a backwards K on the board. So now the first out of the inning. Now it's Dylan Worth stepping in for the Islanders, sending one to first base, and a diving effort from Vautour. Not going to get it, going to go into the outfield. And the Islanders will get on the board. The first pitch that Dylan Worth sees drives it out into the outfield. And now Kraft will come back him in this one. Runners on first and third. So Kraft, who had gone on with a walk in the first, looking to do some more damage here in the second inning. Quick cut that doesn't make connection. That'll be 0-1. Here's stats again, starting off playing both games of the doubleheader and only amassing 1 hit. Quick pickoff attempt. Still unsuccessful. The Islanders center fielder faces now the 0-1. With a runner in scoring position, that one's going to navigate right into the strike zone now, down 0-2. And he'll request time. So stepping back in, Mets up 4-1 in their season opener. Here with Kraft back up to bat for his second attempt. This one goes dangerously close inside. A debated swing, though. Still only one out. They've gone one inning so far. Last at bat, the Dylan Worth single right through the infield. This one, another good eye play from Kraft. Steering off the 1-2. Now gets himself back to an even count. Another one that's just inside. Going to have players running everywhere. And unsure what they'll count that as. A wild pitch or a pass ball. Regardless, it puts the Islanders getting to cut the lead in half. Now it's a full count, only a runner on first. And it's now 4-2. With Kraft still up to bat. And this one again down low. And another walk for Kraft. Will now set up runners on first and second. And again, Van Putten struggling with the walks. Now another runner in scoring position. And McIsaac back up in this situation where Kraft is waiting on first. Got a single in his last attempt. That was their only 2 hits in the first inning. Isaac back up to look at one go just low. Only playing 1 out of the 2 games in the doubleheader. Had 1 hit and 1 RBI. Another one going just down low, bringing up a 2-0 count. So the Mets with a great season open inning. But now their defense faces a challenge. Giving up 2 runs so far in the top of the second. And that one's in there. Getting a strike up on the board. Another from Van Putten. This one a ground ball going right to Cormier, to second, to first. It's a double play, and that'll end the inning. And it's a 6-4-3 double play. It's Cormier to Martin to Vautour, played perfectly. And that will end the top of the second. Mets 4, Islanders 2, getting contributions from Worth with the RBI and a wild pitch. So Stefan Martin steps in for the Mets. A successful season last season. The 9th batter in the batting order. The only batter yet to come up for the Mets as they went through 8 in their 4-run first inning. Quickly starting off 2-0. As Stevenson still stays in for the Islanders. And another left-handed batter for the Mets. Loaded with lefties along their lineup. As Stevenson has now found himself in a hole down 3-0 and trying to crawl his way back. Stefan Martin looking to be taking all the way. And this one, another strike. So he's right back into the count. It's full. And this one, and it is strike 3. And that takes Stefan Martin out on a reverse K. Stevenson's second strikeout looking of the game. Now Cormier finds himself up. He singled in his one at bat last inning and looking to continue his success here. A big hack at it and doesn't make contact. So 0-1 so far to start it off. Another pitch just outside left and maybe a little low with that starting out. 1-1 to Cormier. And this one's hit right up the middle. What a diving play going to first, and they don't get him. Cormier with the speed. So it knocks in and out of the glove of McIsaac at short. And he is just unable to make the play. So now Sam Lund will step back into the batter's box. He started off with a walk last inning in his first at-bat. Or his first plate appearance, rather, still hasn't had an official at-bat. There Stevenson is starting him off with a strike. With 1 on first, 1 out. Now 0-2 to Lund. And again, that's been 3 lefties so far. And what a pitch from Stevenson to get Sam Lund down swinging. Now it's going to be 2 out, his second strikeout of the inning. Now it's the mighty dangerous Serge Vautour. And we all remember what happened in the last inning. His first at-bat had Cormier and Lund on base, took him yard. This one going to go to the second baseman, throw it to first, and that'll be the inning. So after 2 complete innings, Mets 4 and Islanders get 2 of this inning. start off. McPhail in, looking to rip one. Well, he did his first try. First one just gone over to Colin Betts. That one gonna be a ball just outside. The pitch from Van Putten is just a little high and inside. So Van Putten still on the mound. With some records last year, that pitch hops up on green, and the runner's going to take advantage. Now going to be second and third on a bit of a wild pitch. McPhail still in the batter's box. Working in the pitch from Van Putten comes in. And that one just squeaks in there for a strike. Making it 3-2 now against McPhail. Full count. Still no outs, second and third. Runners are Pickett's and Myers. And that one sent high. Multiple players giving chase. And it's going to somehow drop. And that's going to be 2 runs. So the Islanders have tied this game up on what looks to have been a bit of a miscommunication. McPhail now goes to first. With an RBI single. Now Logan Gallant stepping in with a walk. The last at bat, now a bit of a mound visit to Van Putten. And it looks to be Myers who is still on second. Pickett's did score for the Islanders, so it is now 4-3. Pardon me. On the top of the third, still with no outs. Logan Gallant stepping in the first pitch. That one's a bit high. Starting off with the 1-0 count. So far, this game he's been hit by a pitch, has a hit, and has scored a run. So far, finding ways to contribute to his team. This one outside again. Going for 2 balls and no strikes. Still in the top of the third. Islanders need one more run to tie it up. That one again, a bit of a wild pitch. Luckily blocked by Green and bounced back towards the pitcher, Van Putten. The 3-0. That one down low. That'll now put Gallant on base. With another walk, and the bases will be juiced. Here in the third inning, still with no out. And Dubois, he also has a walk. Earlier in the first inning. So it's Myers on third, McPhail on second, Galantner at first. There's Dubois with a golden opportunity to tie this up for his squad. But down in a hole 0-2 to start off the at-bat. And what a little slider by Van Putten to sit down Dubois. So a very clutch strikeout. The nice curvage on the ball. That's a swing and a miss. Now giving the Mets their first out of the inning. Now Arsenault stepping in. He's went down looking just as he did there, looking at strike one. Another one fouled off. They're going to be 0-2. Would have been a pretty close play at home. So another 0-2 hole. So Johnny Arsenault looking to get back into the hit column. That pitch just down low. The last year's stats look to be promising. Now that one's up high. Now 2-2. Trying to fight his way back into the count with the bases loaded. Here for the first time this season. Here for the Mets, the pitch, and in strike three. Two incredibly clutch strikeouts for for Van Putten, rather. And two of them going down swinging, being Dubois and Arsenault. And another strike. That's Worth trying to jump in early. Another one, that one just up high and wide of the strike zone. I'm bringing it back to 1-1. And another one high, 2-1 count now. And what has been a very good game so far. Only the top of the third. A one-run difference. Mets going all their runs in the first inning. And that one's strike three. Or strike two, excuse me. So 2-2 with 2 outs, 3 men on bases, and what a pitch down the middle. 3 strikeouts in a row for that man, Nathan Van Putten. Newly acquired import shuts the door with bases loaded and no outs. 3 straight strikeouts swinging, and a big missed opportunity. For the Islanders, and we'll be back bottom of the third. Mets coming up to bat, up by a score of 4-3. Now it's Luke Vautour stepping in for the Mets. Last season, getting close to the 400 mark. And only 2 home runs compared to Surge, and there's a strike that starts him off. In the bottom of inning 3. Stevenson still on the mound. There's one that just goes outside, bringing the count to 1-1. Pitch coming from Stevenson. That one going to be in there for a strike. Now 1-2 to Luke Vautour. One of very limited right-handed batters. That one a close one. But they'll give it a ball. So 2-2 to Luke Vautour leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning, going down the strikeout looking in his first at-bat. And that one a weird hop, but it's going to be caught by catcher Duncan Picketts. That's the first out of the 3rd inning. Now Jake Green going to have his second attempt, a single on his first at-bat. But then a fielder's choice sent him down and out at second base. This one jammed him a little bit, but just unable to grab it is Galan at third. Just not quite enough height on that one. And what a beautiful looking pitch that slides right over the plate. Nothing much Green could do about that one. So it's 1-2 here with Green's right red bat. And a swing and a miss. And Green will go down. That's 2 strikeouts to start off the inning for Jordan Stevenson. We'll call in Betts. Now with a chance. Try to get something out of this inning. But down 0-2. We're already not off to a good start. Some good stats from last year. Getting 20 hits on the dot. That includes playoffs. That one just upstairs. And another little slider that will go just down low. And that one hit to the second baseman, a play at first. And that one will get him. As it's a 4-3 ground out for Betts. 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts coming from Stevenson. And we'll head to the top of the 4th. So Kraft now moves in, leading off this fourth inning. And his third at bat of the game, he has 2 walks so far, so still not an unofficial at bat for Jake Kraft. That one just down low and inside. Another one that goes just down low. A 4-3 game in favor of the Mets. Still a 1-run game. That's a big swing and a big miss. Now leaving the count up to 2-2. Here's Van Putten trying to move that slider back into the zone, but it's just outside, setting Kraft up for another full count and potentially another walk. This one fouled back. Will just tip over green. So here another full count. And that one will get him down looking. Now another strikeout looking. And for the first time of this game, the Mets will not give up a runner on base. Will get the first out in the first at-bat of the inning. So a good start here for Van Putten on the mound. Here we go, the 1-0. That one just down low for Ryan McIsaac. 0-2 again outside. Now getting to a 3-0 count, heavily in favor of infielder Ryan McIsaac. Trying it again, he was taking it the entire way, stepping out of the box before the pitch had even got there. Another try. This one hits. That'll go through the hole, and that's going to be a single for McIsaac as he'll have a light jog in first. That'll be his second hit of the game. So Pickett stepping back into the box. He popped out to Vautour and has reached and scored with an air. That one going way up high. Looks like it's going to be caught. Racing back on his Cormier, but there will be left fielder Lund after a bit of a collision. And it'll find its way through a hole. Now runners on first and second. That'll be Pickett's second time reaching on with an error. And Myers stepping in with a fresh count in the top of the fourth. And up high for ball one. Another pitch coming from Van Putten on the 1-0. This one dropping in, and it'll be fouled back over to the gymnasium. We'd like to acknowledge currently over 130 watching the season opener here for the Moncton Mets, taking on the Islanders. The Islanders so far undefeated through their first 2 games. That was against a doubleheader versus Chatham. Off the 1-1, smacked into the middle, and this will be caught by Betts out at center. And McIsaac had debated sacrificing and tagging up over to third. That one hit with some strength by Myers, but unfortunately it's his second time that he'll hit one right over to Betts. So 2 out now in the top of the 4th. McPhail moves in for the Islanders. And first pitch will go up for a ball. And second pitch about in the same location, but a swing and a miss makes it now 1-1. Another one that's just high. Now puts McPhail ahead massively in the count. 2-1. And this one hits him. So Van Putten will now load the bases. Now bases are loaded for Logan Gallant. And he had been on with a walk to load the bases in the last inning.
Third baseman number 4, Logan Gallant.
And here now Logan Gallant comes up. Apparently McPhail had not been hit. Now Gallant fouls one off. Had tried to send that one miles over the fence. Oh, and 1 count, bases juiced. Again, for the second time this game for the Islanders, and last time it had came up with 0 outs. Van Putten came up with 3 strikeouts in a row. This one tried to work its way in, and it's just fouled off. Still 0-2. Again, another try at the 0-2 would be another very clutch strikeout. That one will just be inside. And 1-2 count again, and tried to go to his slider. Another try at it, smacked into right field, but hovering right under it and making no mistake is Luke Votor, and that one will end the inning. Now Malone steps in for the Mets in the bottom of the fourth. Had really wanted to swing there. So far, 1 for 1 with an RBI double in the first inning and hasn't come up since. And a 1-1 count. The pitch just inside. Now bringing them up 2-1. This one smacked to center. This one might get down, giving chase, and it's above the center fielder, Jack Kraft, and he'll coast his way into second. Malone now 2 for 2 and 2 doubles on the day. And again, he rips it to center like he did his first one. Oh, Parley, he steps up for his second at bat. In his NBSBL career. Started off with a strikeout swinging in the first inning. First pitch sent far right. Get another foul ball that goes out of play. This one well outside, skips in the dirt. Malone takes a smart decision and will stay at second. pitch. That one, he liked it, sent it right into the shortstop, Ryan McIsaac. That one ate him up a little bit, and very tough to make that play. So he'll have his first hit of his career, and that brings Malone over to third.
Second baseman, number 12, Stephen Martin. Stephen batting for program number 31. And that single wins program number 15, a $10 Dixie League gift certificate.
The Mets start off with runners on first and third with Stephen Martin. Now coming up to bat, we're going to have a meeting at the mound with Stevenson, and it looks like we have some activity in the Islanders bullpen. The first pitch to Stephen Martin. But first, a pickoff attempt. This one a chopper down to first. That'll end up foul. Another pickup attempt trying to look at Parley. Little hidden ball trick attempt. And this one a little hit and run. And that one goes right to the second baseman. And that'll be a double play. Dylan Worth standing at the right place exactly will catch the Stephen Martin. Got jammed a little bit, and Parley was already stealing.
Shortstop number 7, Justin Cormier.
Now Cormier moves his way back up. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. As Malone waits on third base. So there's 2 outs in the inning. Another ball just a bit down. Cormier, a solid 50 hits in the year prior. This one doesn't look like it's going to be one, goes high. And shortstop McIsaac goes back on it. And he'll catch the pop-up to end the 4th inning. Mets still up by a score of 4-3. And starting at the top of the fifth with a ball. And now pitching for the Mets will be Jackson Decker, who totaled last year 75 innings pitched and amassed 50 strikeouts. And is coming in for relief for Van Putten, who pitched 4 solid innings. And now Decker will come in for relief on Dubois. And that one going to get the call on Dubois. Who so far this game has walked and struck out, as he's now up 3-1 in the count. And that one outside, and we'll go for ball 4 to start off the top of the fifth. Now Jonathan Arsenault will move in. He has struck out twice so far this game, one looking and one swinging. Pickoff attempt. And Dubois going to get back safely in time. So again, a runner starting for the Islanders. That has been a common theme so far in this game. Every inning except for one, the Islanders have started with a man on base. Dubois leads off at first. Decker waiting, going to the plate. That one's strike 2. Now going ahead in the count, 1-2. Decker again to put him away. This one's just outside. Now we're going to even the count back up at 2-2. That one's slightly down low, so a full count coming up with a runner on first, and still no one out so far. And that one a foul ball coming right up into the netting. Those counts still going to stay at 3-2. And this one's strike 3. And Dubois trying to go over to second. He's in there safely with a stolen base. But Decker does get the punch out. And that'll be Arsenault's third strikeout of the game, but Dubois does manage to get a stolen base. Worth tonight, he has a single and a strikeout looking for the Islanders so far. Off the hop, starting out with a ball. Another ball just outside left. So far, that has been where the balls have been so far. And this one just gonna clip the edge of the plate. Now bringing it back to 2-1. This one in the zone. Worth it. Thought about swinging. Had almost gone all the way. Will tip it off his bat and will end up foul. The 2-2 the count, 1 out. And Dubois on second. Pitch from Decker, it's fouled off again by Worth. Dylan Worth still staying alive in this at-bat. Attempting not to repeat the at-bat in the third inning where he had went down looking. This one a grounder over to Martin. He'll give a light toss over to Vautour for out number 2. So Craftwood back in to the batter's box. Oh, 2 walks and a strikeout. Looking so far in this game. So only one official at bat. That goes down as a strikeout looking. And on the sacrificial ground out, Dubois has moved up to third base. And that one smacked hard into right field. This one gonna get down before the wall. And going to second, gonna be close. And they got him at second. And what a sequence of events. Kraft with a single had tried to stretch it out to a double. But a cannon arm from Luc Vautour. He hits Cormier at second base. And that will end the inning. Not before the Islanders were able to tie it up with Dubois scoring off the original single from Kraft. So now we now have ourselves a tie game heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. So Ben McDougal steps in to pitch for the Islanders, and Brian Smith is now to bat for the Mets. First pitch going down low from McDougal. And Smith taking the place of Martin. Now making it 2-1. The one that just catches the strike zone low. Smith batting .300 last year, getting close to 30 hits. There's one that drops right into the strike zone. Now making it 2-2. This one smacked right up the middle. This one's going to get through. So that's a base hit from Smith here to lead off the bottom of the fifth.
First baseman, number 16, Serge Votor.
Now Votor stepping up for the Mets. Already a home run to start off the season. That came in the first inning with a 3-1 blast that had driven in Lund and Cormier. Another one up high, runner on first, that being Brian Smith. His first at-bat of the season, coming up big with a single. And that one a big hack from Serge Votor and comes up short, so now a 2-1 count. Ooh, and a little changeup gets Votor swinging. So in the evened up count now, Smith waits on first with Votor in the batter's box, and this one gets him looking. That's a backwards K for Serge Votor. That'll set him down. And we'll now bring up Luke Votor. Luke Votor, quick pitch. Starts it off with a ball. Quick pick-off attempt at first, trying to get Smith running. Votor, a little swing and a miss, evening up the count now at 1-1. And another big cut. Doesn't make contact. So 1-2 now for Luke Votor. One of the very few right-handed batters for the Mets, and another one gets them swinging. So now McDougal has now sent down the two Votors, striking them both out.
Catcher, number 21, Jake Green.
Now Green moving his way back in, another big swing. And another whiff. So far, Ben McDougal coming up huge on the mound. Green 1 for 1 with a single and a strikeout so far. This one coming, and it's sent high and over. Now 0-2 on Jake Green with 2 outs in the inning. Smith still waits on first. And pitch, another one going foul. That'll go off the room of the gymnasium next door. Another try. This one's just inside, and it'll get Green looking. 3 straight strikeouts from Ben McDougall to end off the 5th inning, and we're still deadlocked at 4 here on MST. So newly acquired Brandon Hillier takes the mound for the Mets. His first appearance in the NBSBL.
Shortstop number 22, Ryan McIsaac.
With the Barry Bearcats last year in the IBL. Got almost 14 innings in, struck out 11, and had a win to go with it. Starts off this season with a ball. And there's 2 just outside left. And this one gets it to 2-1 on Ryan McIsaac. He has so far singled twice so far in the game. This one's going to go up high for a 3-1 count. It would have been a very exciting game, tied at 4-4 in the top of the 6th. And the 3-1, this one's just inside from Hillier, now making it a full count. And the payoff. This one's outside, and it's ball 4. So another walk now has been a key aspect for the Mets so far. Have given up a lot of walks so far this game. And it's Duncan Pickett's that now will move his way back in to the batter's box. Has popped out and reached on in 2 errors so far in this game, and those have been the 2 errors by the Mets. They have both of them have let Pickett's on base. This time going for a bunt, goes right to the third baseman, and Smith or rather that's Parley that's unable to get it. A pretty much perfect bunt. Could not do much better than that. Parley having to run on it. And balled it just a little bit. Now runners on first and second for the DH tonight, Myers. First pitch is fouled back outside the stadium. Second pitch from Hillier had looked good. Will be called the ball, so 1-1 count with runners on first and second. Still no outs in the top of the 6th. Hillier, another one, this one inside. The 2-1, this one will go for a strike down the middle. Back to an even count. With Josh Myers flying out to Betts 2 times today and getting on by a walk. This one another foul. Will go above the stands. A key out coming up here for the Mets. Just need that first one. Just get some rolling. This one grounded right back to Hillier. It goes through him, goes to second base. Cormier unable to touch up. Or maybe they say he did. So Pickett will be out at second. Myers will reach on base at first. So now 1 out in the inning. Runners on first and third. 1 out for McPhail. Fly out to center, a single and a walk so far this game. Delivery from Hillier right to McPhail, line right to Smith. He'll catch it and now throws back to first, and what a clutch double play from Brian Smith. That ends the top of the 6th, a line drive right to Smith. He'll give a little toss over to Vautour. And that'll be the top of the 6th. Mets go back to bat and look to take the lead in the bottom of the 6th here on MST. Colin Betts stepping back up and looking to get his first hit of the season, reached on base with a fielder's choice in the first inning. And in the third, grounded out to the second baseman, starting off the bottom of the sixth. And it's Tanner McLean on the mound now for the Islanders. That one looked to have been very close to a strike. Going to be called just down low. And this one going to get the call in favor of McLean. Back to 2-1 now against Betts, the center fielder. Ooh, had looked to want to pounce on that one. Took it at the last second for a 3-1 count now. And still over 130 watching along on this chilly Wednesday night. Being a tight game, that's going to be a walk. Betts absolutely launches the bat. So now, runner on first and no outs. Still not a hit for Betts, but he gets on base. Malone now steps in. He is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles so far tonight. He'll take the first pitch a bit high, but in the zone. And Malone requests time, and he'll have that granted. And this one to Malone, he'll just send this one foul. Taking a weird sound off the bat. He goes back to his dugout to retrieve a new one. Now Malone resetting here. Brand new bat against McLean, and looked to have tried to go yard. And comes up short with a swing and a miss. That's going to be a strikeout for McDougal. Harley has had his first hit of the league in his last at bat with a single. Now has a runner on first. This one to center and will drop in there right over the head of Worth. Unable to get a handle on that. Now runners on first and second from the base hit to center from Parley. So Stephen Martin has now moved over into left field. So Martin has a strikeout looking at a lineout double play. Had wanted to bunt there and took it back last second. As he still waits for this second pitch. Lengthy delay, trying to look at Betts back at second. Little bit of a wild pitch, recovered by Pickett's. Another pitch to Martin. This one will go just low. He'll now find himself ahead of the count, 2-1. The 2-1. That one's into the zone. Now has him down to his last strike. McLean looks to first, looks to second. Back at second, Betts tried to jump. And this one just outside. McLean thought he had it. Now a full count to Martin. This one chopped over to third base, unable to get the double play, turns to first, and they'll barely get Martin. Gallant had looked to second. Pardley had the speed to get there. On a little soft dribbler. Now runners on second and third. And 2 outs for Cormier. Just barely getting the out at first there. Now Cormier with 2 singles so far in this game will be intentionally walked. That now brings up Brian Smith. Now loading the bases with a force at any base. Brian Smith is 1 for 1 with a single in his first at bat. That one swinging just too late. Making it 0-1. So bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th is a key at bat in this game. That one just a little low, back to 1-1. Next pitch is fouled back into the Kiwanis Park parking lot. Two strikes to Brian Smith. The pitch, and it got him for strike 3. And what a key strikeout. In the bottom of the 6th, had the bases loaded. Now looking to be a smart move, intentionally walking Cormier. Now we go to our last inning, tied at 4. McLaren now stepping in for Logan Gallant. Pinch hitting, starting off with a strike from Hillier. And there's two right away. That one with the swing and a miss. And the 0-2. That one gonna be a ball. McLaren already with a double and 3 RBIs to start off the season. And here he is leading off the top of the 7th. That one gonna be fouled off left. So a 4-4 tie game as we approach the last inning, and there's a swing and a miss from McLaren. And that'll be Hillier's first strikeout. Now Dubois back in with 1 out. Gonna start off with a foul ball right up against the netting. Well, he has an RBI of himself to start off the season. A pitch here. That's gonna be a called strike, now in the hole at 0-2. And has had 2 walks and a strikeout so far this game, and with a stolen base a bit earlier, showing off his speed. And that one, it's a strike 3, a swing and a miss from Dubois, starting out with 2 strikeouts from Hillier. So 2 swings and misses for strikeouts so far from Hillier. In the 7th inning. And now Jack McKenzie steps in for Arsenault. Starts off with a ball. And that one right down the middle to make it 1-1. And that one hit towards Vautour at first, but will end up foul. One and two with a chance to strike out the side. And the delivery from Hillier, that one's just low and right. And that's strike 3 looking. And Hillier strikes out the side 2. You got 2 swinging, 1 looking. Now we go to the bottom of the 7th. Mets with a chance to walk it off, or will we see extra innings in our first game here, the Mets season opener here on Maritime Stream Team. And Serge Vautour now in the bottom of the 7th in a tie game. 4-4, has 10 home runs last year, has one already. A 3-run blast that came in the bottom of the 1st inning. McLaren still on the mound. That one so close to hitting him. One and 0. The pitch from McLean. It's a foul ball, chopped just right on the first baseline by Vautour. The 1-1, Vautour had wanted to go. That one had just slid left, so 2-1. And they're trying a big swing and a miss from Vautour, making it 2-2. We got over 160 currently watching what could be the last inning, or maybe we see extras. Who knows? And that one in there for strike 3 against Vautour. He'll go down looking. His 2nd time. He's gone down with the backwards K. And now Luke Vautour will step in. And hoping to get on base and get some hits, rallying. There's a quick foul ball that goes right to the backstop. There's a quick pitch that goes for a strike. Oh, 0-2 now to Luke Vautour. McLean the pitch. This one hit high, going a bit deep. This one doesn't have it, and we'll go right. We'll go right into the glove of Dubois in right field. Now it's Jake Green moving in. Last year over a 300 batting average. Now must come up clutch on the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs against the Mets. This one trending in the direction of extra innings. That one a strike will go right down the middle. Now go 1-1. Jake Green today, 2 strikeouts and a single. He had the single to start off his day. There's a big hack at one that he'll go for a swing and a miss. And the 0-2, or the 1-2 rather, sent foul, so the at-bat continues. And the Mets scoring all their 4 runs in the 1st inning, have not scored since. Islanders 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and another one in the 5th. That one a swing and a miss. And 2 extra innings we go. There's Tanner McLean going 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts. And we'll be back for extra innings here on MST. And here we go, starting off the top of the 8th. This game needing extras. An attempted swing. That goes up and out of play. And Logan McDougal now in for the Islanders. And there's strike 3. Hilliard just mowing them down. Within these last couple, within the last inning. There's another swinging strikeout to get McDougal, and Kraft will now come up back to the top of the order. And starting him off with a strike early. That one misses the zone, so we'll now go to 1-1. Second pitch is lined right in between Smith and Vautour. So Kraft now in his 5th at bat will get on base, his 2nd single of the game.
Shortstop number 22, Ryan McIver.
Now McIsaac stepping back up. Has had a very successful night so far. 2 singles and a walk. And here he is again. Starting off the extra innings. And no runs have been scored since the top of the 5th. So far, a bit of a low-scoring affair, 4-4. In the top of the 8th, runner going, swing, and they got him at second base. And what a throw from Green to Cormier. They connect perfectly and get Kraft attempting to steal. And not only got the strike, got the runner as well. Now 0-2 with 2 outs. There's one sent right to Cormier, picking it up, toss right to Vautour, and gets him for the 3rd out of the top of the 8th. They get 6-3 to end the top of the 8th, still 4-4.
The center fielder, number 17, Colin Betts.
So Colin Betts back up. Fielder's choice, a walk, and a ground out to second so far, but can come up hero in the bottom of the 8th. That one ever so close to drop it in for a strike. And 2 home runs last year. Would be insane to get one here. That one will go in for a strike with a fastball. Tanner McLean still on the mound for the Islanders. That one a bit too far inside. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Colin Betts. On deck is Malone. He's had a successful night so far. Here's Betts, a big swing, and comes up empty, so now 2-2. And the 2-2 down the middle for strike 3. And that starts off the bottom of the 8th with the first out, with a looking strikeout to Colin Betts. And now Malone in for the Mets. That pitch way high to start off with a ball. Malone in with a new bat, had broken it in his latest at bat. There's a heater that'll go into the strike zone now, making it 1-1. That one hit high, and will go just not over the backstop. That one looked to have been close to getting over and barely into the stands, but will be fouled off. Now for a 1-2 count. Now 2 strikes for Malone. The pitch from McLean. That one's out wide. The dangerous left-handed batter, Jesse Malone. The pitch, and in there for strike 3. Another strikeout looking from Tanner McLean. And another strikeout looking by McLean. And now Parley will step up a single in his last at-bat. There's a swing and a miss. And the 0-1 to Parley. That one's another swing and a miss, making it 0-2. And the 0-2, and it's another strikeout. McLaren strikes out the side, 2 looking, and 1 swinging. And another 3 up, 3 down inning for the Islanders. And now we're going into a full 9 innings. We'll be back for the top of the 9th, where Hillier's back on the mound and Duncan Picketts will lead it off for PEI. And Pickett's off the hop, right to Smith, and he makes the throw. And for 1 pitch, 1 out for Pickett, who sends a ground ball to Smith, and he makes no mistake. And another good play by Smith at second base. A little flip over to Vautour. And now Josh Meyer steps in. Hillier still on the mound. First pitch is a ball. And Myers so far, he's hit it to Colin Betts at center twice. Has gone to walk and a fielder's choice. That one sent high. and will end up foul. And the pitch from Hillier. Another one sent high. And that one no chance at staying in play. And some cars dangerously close to being hit out in the parking lot here at Kiwanis Park. 1-2 from Hillier. On Myers. That one just inside, now 2-2. Now the 2-2 to Myers, hasn't struck out so far tonight. A lot of Ks across the board for each team. Been a real pitcher's duel so far. Grounder, it'll go to Vautour. Running to the base, he'll flip to Hillier. And that'll be a 3-1. Now 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Here's a little chopper from Myers. Fortunately, didn't get too much on it. And McPhail moves his way in for the Islanders. That pitch be high and left. Another one from Hillier, and about the exact same spot for ball 2. The 2-0 fouled back by McPhail. Will now make it 2-1. And the 2-1 on top of the 9th. This one goes right up the middle by McPhail, and he'll find his way on base here in the top of the 9th. And that'll be McPhail's second hit of the night. Now it's Tyson McGinnis in for the Islanders, pinch hitting. Again, starting off with a ball. Runner on first, 2 out. The top of the 9th would have been a very chilly night going to extra innings. Pitch from Hillier again. Hits that top left corner a lot. So far in this top of the 9th. Playing a full-length MLB game here tonight at Kiwanis Park. This one barely tapped. Hillier has to rush to it. Heats him up a little bit. And it looks like they'll call it a foul ball. So we'll redo that just with a 2-1 count. And the 2-1. This one kind of jammed him up, but it'll drop right into the outfield. So now straight 2 base hits in a row is PEI. That one from Tyson McInnes. Now Dubois moving back in. Runners on first and second. Still 2 outs in the 9th. They started with 2 straight outs, but have since rallied to get 2 men on base. And Dubois tonight, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. That one mashed, but just foul. Runs equal at 4, hits equal at 8. The errors are 2-1 for the Mets. This game coming down to the wire here in this one. Another one from Hillier, and they'll get the strike call. Now 1-2, a chance to move on to the bottom of the 9th. And this one chopped down the third base line, going to be foul, played by the Islanders' third base coach. McInnes at first, McPhail at second. Here another foul ball that's lined right over the crowd. And this one strikes him out, heats him up. And we'll go to the bottom of the 9th, still tied here in this one. And there's Dubois' third strikeout of the game. And Hillier has done a great job so far in these extra innings, as well as McLaren. We'll see if they bring him back out. Bottom of the 9th, still tied at 4 here on Maritime Stream Team. And Stephen Martin in to lead it off for the Mets in the bottom of the 9th. That one high. So we'll start it off with a ball. Now 180 currently watching live at home. In a late and cold night here at Kiwanis Park. Still in extra innings. Had to play an extra 1.5 so far, and we'll see if it ends here in the bottom of the 9th. There's a pitch that's a strike right down the middle. And McLaren still on the mound for the Islanders. The pitch, that one's just low. Now going to be 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch from McLaren outside. And we're going to have a runner on base here for the Mets. Now it's Justin Cormier that steps in. No outs and a runner on first. Has gone on base in all of his at-bats so far here tonight. And look to have shown bunt. Takes it back last minute, makes it 1-0. Just trying to bunt and advance that runner into scoring position. And Cormier has some speed with him, so you better watch out. And here shows bunt, hits off of something and goes foul. Trying that again with a 1-1 count. Martin still waits at first. Again, another bunt, takes it back, and looks at one going by for 2-1 count now. And showing bunt hit high, but will go foul, so 2-2, so not gonna try the bunt anymore. Creeping in was Tyson McGinnis at third base, waiting for the bunt to be laid down, but Cormier had never gone one solid. Cormier in the 2-2. Clearing on the mound. This one's smacked towards first base and will get through for a single. Martin's going to hustle over to third. Here it comes to McInnes, and he dropped it. And Martin hustles his way from first to third, and they now have runners on first and third base with still no outs. There's a rip from Cormier that just heats up first baseman Nick McPhail. I'm going to have a little meeting at the mound. So the Mets now with a glorious chance to end it with Brian Smith on deck and is next to come up to bat. All they need is to bring in a runner from third, and they will have this game in extra innings unless the Islanders are able to shut them down. Now Brian Smith in. He'll take that one for a ball. So no out runners first and third. We got Smith, Serge Vautour, and Luke Vautour still to come. There's a swing and a miss. Infield playing a bit in. McInnes is on, barely into the infield grass. And Smith hits it high, but foul. The 1-2 to Brian Smith has a single and a strikeout so far in his two at bats. This one ground ball foul again. Cormier looked to have been stealing on that one. Pitch from McLaren, swing and a miss from Smith. And that will be an absolutely incredible clutch out to get one out without advancing any runners. And Serge Vautour is intentionally walked to load the bases.
Right fielder, number 45, Luke Vautour.
So now bases loaded for Luke Vautour. And all he needs is to get one past the infield, and he will have this game. Luke Vautour, 3 strikeouts and a flyout to Dubois in right field. And could come up clutch here. A single right back to the pitcher. Gonna throw home. They get him to first. What a double play! And the Islanders stay alive. And we now go to the bottom or the top of the 10th.
At the bottom of the ninth, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left.
Now we'll go to the top of the 10th. Hillier still on the mound. So even more extra innings coming up for you here on MST. Now in the top of the 10th, it's Jack McKenzie leading it off for the Islanders. Fouling one off first, and then there's one down the middle. So 0-2 count. Hillier in command with this one. This one a bit low. It'll go for ball one. McKenzie had debated swinging at it. And there's a line drive that'll get by Smith. And McKenzie finds his way on base. McKenzie gets his first base hit of the game. And now gets a leadoff runner on for Logan McDougal. Logan McDougal last year, 200 batting average exactly, with over 20 hits, tried to bunt. And that one will get called a strike, so top of the 10th. Leadoff runner on first, McDougal. Logan McDougal specifically up to bat. 9th in the lineup. It'll turn over for Jake Kraft. And McDougal shows bunt. That one just gets by Green. Now 0-2 for Logan McDougal. Still no outs in the inning. And he'll send one over Smith and into the outfield. Runners on first and second, no outs. And another clutch hit for the Islanders this time. It's from Logan McDougal. And Kraft comes back up and has a chance to put his team in the lead. So another chance to get some runs here in the extra innings. That pitch going to be outside for ball one. One and oh. Runners on first and second. A double play would be huge here for the Mets. Time requested. Hillier looking like he has something going on with his shoe. And there's another ball, so a 3-0 count. Loading the bases would not be ideal here in these extra innings. Top of the 10th. And that one gonna get the call, so 3-1. And what has been a very long night here at Kiwanis Park. Already done 2 extra innings. And that one's ball 4. And the bases are juiced. And going to have a mound visit here. The Ryan McIsaac steps in. Huge opportunity. Bases loaded with No outs. Foul ball back into the netting. So another try with the bases loaded, and he gets hit. So the Islanders will take the lead here in the top of the 10th and still have the bases loaded.
The catcher, number 36, Duncan Pickens.
Now Pickett's up, sends one far, and pulled a ton foul. So now 5-4 in favor of the Islanders. Here in the extra inning, still bases loaded on with no one out. And again, almost a hit batter, a wild pitch going to Hilliard home, and they got him. McDougal had tried to stretch it out to a 2-run lead. And Hilliard runs home, catches it and applies the tag. Now runners on second and third, 1 out and a 1-1 count to Pickett's. And that one gets them swinging, making it now 1-2. Infield playing in for the Mets, the 1-2, and they got him for strike 3.
The designated hitter, number 20, Josh Myers.
Josh Myers now moves in for the Islanders. The pitch, not going to get called a strike. Myers today with 2 flyouts, a ground out, a fielder's choice, and a walk. And the pitch from Hillier. And that one gonna get called a strike. So a 1-2 count for Myers. And the Mets look to go to the bottom of the 10th, only down by 1. Hillier with the 1-2 to Myers. That one just down low, making it 2-2. Waiting on deck is McPhail. And a wave, and it's sent foul ball behind the backstop. Myers stays alive. And this one's sent to left field, but gonna be caught. So the Mets go down to the bottom of the 10th, down by a score of 5-4. With a fly out to left field by Josh Myers. So Jake Green now leading it off for the Mets. They need just one run here in the bottom of the 10th to tie it up. They're down by a score of 5-4. There's one hit sharply to second. Got to act quickly, and they get him out off the first pitch. And a good play, Logan McDougall. First of all, to stop the ball, then throws Green out. That's a hard hit ball to the left of him. Had barely managed to track it down. Then went to first. Colin Betts comes up with one out. That one slides right into the zone. Looks like he wasn't expecting that. Now when another one to McDougall, takes a weird hop, still makes the play, and gets it over to McPhail at first. And now Islanders are just one out away from taking it in extra innings. So Jesse Malone steps up, last at bat, and went down looking. Islanders with 10 hits, Mets with 9. Pitch from McLean that's down low, 2-0. Then Tanner McLean with an excellent showing on the mound. And there's one that's lined foul and caught by the third base coach. Another try from McLaren. And the pitch in there for strike two. Now the Mets down to their last strike after they had an incredible chance at winning it in the bottom of the 9th. We're one pitch away from ending it here. And here's McLaren throwing it down low. Now moves to a full count. And here we go, full count. McLaren, it's hit by Malone. The bat breaks, it goes right to McPhail, and that will be our ball game. And the Islanders take it by a score of 5-4. The Islanders now go 3-0, and all their 3 wins coming at 5-4 victories. We hope you enjoyed tonight. Thank you all for tuning in to live Mets baseball action. We'll see you in our next home game Sunday afternoon. Mets and Ironman here on MST.